All right, we are live here again at the headquarters of Scarce City. I am your host today, Pleb Chris Tremount, co-founder of Scarce City. We've got some pretty intense action for you today. We're going to be closing out the Bitcoin full node sculpture. I've got a whole cast of characters from the Bitcoin art community who are going to talk us through this and talk all things Bitcoin art. Before we get to them, let's do a quick snapshot of what's going on with the auction. We've had a ton of interest in this, 40-something bids. We have a regular bidding war going on as of this morning. At the moment, we have our man Jeff on top with a bid of 1.7 Bitcoin. That's about $68,000 in USD. But you never know when we're going to rocket off to all-time highs and crank that number up. We have 26 minutes to go in this. However, once we get into the final 15 minutes, that is the hot zone. That means that any additional bids, they reset the countdown to 15 minutes. So we could be here for a while. Strap in. We've got a lot of content to cover with you. So without further ado, I am going to welcome MicroChad from 21ism. He did a fantastic interview with the artist himself, Fractal and Crypt. And we're going to go over what he learned from that interview. MicroChad, can you hear me?
Hey, Chris, I can. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. How are you?
I'm good. The audio coming through all right?
Yeah, you sound great.
Good stuff. Yeah, exciting times, man.
Very exciting.
I haven't been this excited since Chief Monkey blasted into the stratosphere with his relentless optimism, which took a whole Bitcoin off the market. And here we are at 1.7 with half an hour to go on the clock. Amazing.
Here we are again. Yeah, my heartbeat's pumping. I know Fractal's heartbeat's pumping, but I feel like anybody who's watching this thing, their heartbeat's pumping as well. So it's just fun to take part in any way possible.
Yeah, brilliant. He's such a cool guy to talk to as well. I don't know if you've had a chance to listen to the interview. I think you read my piece, but he's a salt of the earth fella who has dedicated, this is what I talk about in the article, 7 months of his life to bringing this thing into existence. We were chatting before the broadcast started. There is some suspicion that he is an alien life form and that this could be some kind of portal into another dimension. It's like nothing I've seen before. I mean, I know that Fractal's been iterating on this. This is piece number 4. The previous 3 had quite a few big differences, and I know with this piece, which is dedicated to the halving, he's incorporated some new additions as well. But yeah, I got the chance to talk to him about his origins, the fact that when he was little, his mum and dad identified that he had potential as an artist. So they really kindled that. He had a good teacher who showed him how to see things differently. He told me about how he showed him the sky and was able to see it in a different way. And he remembered that was the kind of moment where transferring what he'd learned from his teacher onto the paper or the canvas was a really transformative process for him. And that led him to creating all sorts of different pieces. He's made jewelry. He's worked with LSD plotter art, which he had so much success with that he actually took on the road. He was following the Grateful Dead round. The band. I mean, he doesn't follow dead people around, but he was following those guys around. Rented an RV, had stalls selling his merch, and they sold really quickly. And I think it was around that point he was experimenting with mandala art and 3D packages that helped to create these unique designs, and that ultimately led him to a makerspace in Miami, where he first got access to a laser cutter and imported his artwork into the program they were using, which was Adobe Illustrator. He'd never used it before, and he loved the results. Went home, tinkered around with it, and since then has produced some stunning results. I'm a fan of laser cut art. I have a few pieces here from Hodler.rocks. I've got some Christmas tree ornaments that he was very kind enough to gift to me, and another piece as well, which is awesome. You and I, in fact, it's that piece right behind you, Chris. You and I are two of the 10 owners of that multicolored beauty right behind you.
Oh yeah, that's a special one.
So so here we are. You know, the guy is absolutely killing it now. This is going to be a record for you guys, I think, right?
This will be a record in Bitcoin terms as well as fiat terms. And yeah, man, I loved reading this article, this interview. You know, we see this beautiful work of art and we wonder how it was possible to create. But when you understand where the artist has come from, I mean, this is accumulation of all of his experience and all of his work to this point. So, you know, I said it yesterday, this is proof of work in the purest form.
Yeah, absolutely. The article focuses on him and his journey. He has a great piece as well, which Bitcoin Magazine published last week, that everyone should go and check out as well, because it includes a much more detailed walkthrough of the piece itself and what each of the 21 layers comprises and the story behind it. So hopefully he can tell us a bit more about that. But there's so much to this piece. Every time you look at it, you take away something different from it. So I'm mad jealous of whoever ends up owning this. It's a bit out of my budget at this point, sadly, but I still think at 171 million sats, it's still a bargain.
Yeah, and on that note, we do have a fresh bid in 1.71 Bitcoin from Ludum. I believe this is Ludum's third or fourth bid. He's really gunning for this thing. Oh, but don't get too comfortable. We do have a pending bid from Jeff just over him. So this is a full-on bidding war, folks. Between Jeff, Ludum, Bitcoiner Death, he's not too far behind. Be surprised to see his name pop back up. There's several guys with deep pockets that really want this piece. So it's going to be interesting to see where this goes. I'm going to go ahead and welcome on Vizique. Let me see if I can find the control here. Vizique, how you doing, man?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I'm good. Wow. I don't think there's really much need to say much else, is there? Wow.
Yeah, tell us what you think about this. I mean, you've been part of, I don't know, hundreds, if not thousands of Bitcoin good related auctions. You have more experience than most. First of all, give us your kind of summary of your takeaway of what you've seen in this auction so far.
I think you actually nailed it already, to be brutally honest, Chris. There are determined buyers out there. They want this, and rightly so. I mean, let's cut straight to that chase. What an outstanding piece of work this is. With, as MicroChad pointed out, a couple of extra highlights in the fact that it's a halving piece. So it's got that little bit of extra detail. And in fact, when MicroChad was talking just then, he reminded me about something that Ross Stevens had said in the now legendary MicroStrategy conference, and his now legendary speech to Michael Saylor. And one of the things he said there was about talking Bitcoin, about understanding Bitcoin like a language, to the point that you talk Bitcoin, you think Bitcoin, you see Bitcoin. And this piece is exactly that. If Ross Stevens had seen Fractal Encrypt's work, he would have said, that's what I'm talking about. There is so much language within Fractal's piece. If you talk Bitcoin, you just go, oh my God, it's like reading almost War and Peace.
Yeah.
There's so much there. But you get my point, is that it's language, it's detail, it's data for those that understand. And when you do understand it and you look at it and you read it, you do that. You literally read it from halving segments, from block segments, timing segment. It's just glorious. I could actually proselytize about this piece for quite some time, but I won't. Yeah, so in terms of how auctions have been going, it's quite interesting. You get that initial euphoria. Everybody's like, oh, holy moly, I want a piece of that. So they slam down their money. That includes myself. And then over the course of the 24 hours, you get a slight waning, where obviously time zones come into effect and people go to bed. And then I'm pretty sure the first thing they do when they wake up is go, I wonder if I won it yet, or I wonder if I'm still the winner. And so now we're getting up towards the last, what are we in now? The last
we're
16 minutes.
About 16 minutes, and we do have a fresh bid from Jeff. He's back at it again with 1.72 BTC.
So this is what we're starting to see, is the competition coming to the front. You've got the determined buyers. These are the guys that actually want it. These are the guys that, you know, they're not looking for the cheap seat. They know they're going to pay. They don't mind paying. They want to pay. They want this piece. And I think that's great. And the fact that, like I said, this has the additional gravitas of being a halving piece, I think makes it just that little bit extra from the previous three. But that's kind of almost unfair on the previous three because they're all amazing. And I'm trying to work out what the secret combination is so that I can jump forward to Tau Ceti. Because I'm pretty sure it is a portal, you know.
Yeah, you never know, man. You know, it could be a time portal. It could take you to another dimension. I mean, you just stare at this thing long enough, who knows where you'll end up.
Could it take me back to about January the 4th in 2009 so I can fire up my computer to start mining Bitcoin?
Start mining Bitcoin? I think it would be it'd be worth a whole lot more than 1.72 if that's the case.
Yeah. So yes, outstanding work. I'm really pleased for Fractal about how this is going. Congratulations to whoever the eventual winner will be. It's pretty certain it's going to be one of these guys bidding now. Good luck, guys, and don't be afraid to hit that button.
Yeah, love to hear it. Couldn't happen to a better guy. And we are officially in the hot zone. So you see we have a new interface here. What this means, again, if any bids come in at this point, the clock resets to 15 minutes. No on-chain payments allowed at this time. It is Lightning only. And the auction cannot end on a pending bid. So what you could see happen here is that the countdown goes down to 210, but somebody's placed their bid. They just haven't paid their Lightning invoice yet. So you could see a pending notification here for 1 to 3 minutes until that invoice either expires and the auction ends, or they actually pay that invoice and we get reset to 15 minutes. So we have no idea how long we're going to be here for. It could be a long haul. It could be in 14 minutes. We'll see how it goes. But I appreciate
one of the longest. Just sorry to interrupt very quickly, Chris. One of the longest post time events took about 4.5 hours on Bitcoin Talk for some silver, a deck of silver cards that Corrosive Creations had made, Bitcoin themed, obviously. And because they were each individually auctioned, 1 through 13, obviously each of the cards, by the time they were all finished bidding and fighting, 4 hours had passed. So hopefully we'll be done a little bit quicker than that tonight, but you never know. If people want this bad, they'll pay and they'll fight.
You know what? As daunting as sitting here for 4 hours feels, if it means a higher price for Fractal and Crypt, I'm all for it. I'll stay in for the long haul. Hopefully somebody will join me, and maybe we'll bring out the spirits to make the time go a little easier.
Oh, I'll be here. Don't worry.
All right. Well, I appreciate that, Vizique. We'll bring you back on here in a second. I want to bring on Chief Monkey. We have Chief Monkey in the chat. Chief, can you hear me?
Yeah. You hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. You sound great. How you doing?
Good. Really good. Very excited.
Cool, man. Well, I wanted to bring you on because you were here in this same position, I don't know, just over a month, maybe 2 months ago at a time. But what do you think Fractal and Crypt's going through at this moment?
You know the roller coaster guy?
Oh, I sure do.
What happens is, like, you come to the closing minutes and you're like, that's it. Okay, that's it. It's all over. We're really happy. And then, oh my God. and then it goes, and I don't know how the strategy goes with these guys, but then it comes down to the end of the next 15 minutes. Like I say, that's it. We can relax. It's game over. It's the end of the night. And oh my God.
Yep.
And then you just do that again and again. So that's what I'm expecting. And right now, I think Fractal is, I don't know, he's probably tapping his feet like I am. And just it's quite an adrenaline rush.
For sure. And those who aren't familiar, Chief Monkey, he auctioned off the first piece on our Lightning auctions. And actually before that, came up with the idea for this thing. So big props to Chief Monkey. The idea of using Lightning to under-collateralize bids in an auction format, that came from him. And he was the guinea pig.
Hey, dude, we have to pay respects. The first was the reverse Lightning auction, where cryptograffiti, basically you had to bet in reverse. You had to get lower and lower, and people at the time didn't know you could actually bet fractions of a sat. So you have to give respects to that. But this was the first traditional Lightning auction in a traditional meaning of the word. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And full credit to Cryptograffiti for coming up with the original idea to use Lightning for any type of auction format. And that was like, you know, it was a couple of years ago. So Lightning was in the very early days at that point. And the innovation there was just the concept of being able to spend a microsat, right? Like,
yeah, it's nuts. It's nuts. So, you know, this is what Fractal has shown as well. It's like some artists truly understand the code or what's going on. And like, you know, when he had that interview yesterday, when you were chatting with him, and he was going through just talking through all the elements of his piece of art. Honest to God, when we say it's coming from another planet, I swear to God, he was speaking Klingon at certain points, and that it's nuts. His understanding is phenomenal, and he's really, I don't know, kind of raised the game. Not raised the game, but it's inspirational. It's an inspirational piece, and I think it's going to be a long time before something comes along. I mean, I do fun stuff, but I mean, what Fractal's done is on another level of understanding. It's superb. I absolutely love it. I'm tempted to put another bid in.
hey, if you need to drop off and place another bid, we will understand.
I don't think my bid would last very long.
I do have to show the Phoenix here because it is a gorgeous piece, and the winner of that auction, Mike Z, is a lucky individual for owning it.
It's a fun piece, and I'll tell you what, the thing about this, that I hang my head in shame in a way. It's got such a big Bitcoin B. I didn't want to make pieces with a Bitcoin B on it. I want to make pieces that you can just look at them and understand. But you look at Fractals, and he didn't need to put a Bitcoin B. He didn't, did he? He didn't need to put. But I don't care the shit he did. But you can look at his piece, and it's educational. Like, you can have like 3-year-long like degrees, and this could be your entire syllabus is there right on this piece that he's done. That's how seminal this piece is. It's incredible.
Yeah, it's really something special. I mean, I love it because, I mean, not only is it aesthetically pleasing, but gives you the full visualization of the Bitcoin network, which can be so hard to visualize otherwise. And it's so educational. When he was talking me through it yesterday, I was just learning about Bitcoin. It's fantastic.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I just want to see. I'd like to see a lot of more activity from the whales, because this is. I know that the thing is, this is number 4. The other 3 pieces he's done, they've all been personalized in some way. That, you know, they're all unique. He's only going to do 10, and the pieces he's already done are probably already worth more than what the people bought for them. You know, these are moments in time that he's capturing. This is a moment in history, and I don't know. I just think anyone who can get their hands on one of these, you know, it's incredible. And this sort of stuff then gets picked up by the mainstream media and then gets amplified outside of there. Do you know what I'm saying? It goes beyond us talking about it right now, and it goes beyond the community. So it will bring in more people looking at what's going on in Bitcoin.
Absolutely. And that's what makes the best Bitcoin art, right? It's telling the story of Bitcoin. It's attracting more people to the space.
Yeah. No, that's it. I mean, it makes you think, and that's the whole point of art. Like, I mean, the Phoenix. The Phoenix was a fun piece, but literally, it's like good art. Like, actually says something about what you're passionate about. Like good art is just it's art about it's art of something, and then great art is art about something, and this is art about something. And there's millions of people who are just absolutely superbly impassioned with what he's done, and with the technology. And I can't. There's not enough superlatives in the world for me to dump on this piece of art of what Fractal's achieved. So it's going to be some time before anything comes along that can possibly match this, in my opinion. I as an artist, I kind of want to, because we're all so competitive. I kind of want to go over there and just remove him from the gene pool. Of course I don't. I want to go home having a fucking big beer with him.
Yeah.
I'd love to be sitting next to him right now and seeing what's going on.
Well, we can do the next best thing, and I can bring him into the room.
Hey.
Are you there?
Hey, what's going on? I'm here. Absolutely.
How you doing, mate?
I'm excited. This is crazy stuff. It's so amazing to see this all happen live.
Awesome, man. It's been an intense week for you, especially an intense 23 hours and some change. How you feeling?
Definitely feeling like, this is a pivotal moment for me, personally, as well as like hopefully good for the community as well. So, I'm just having trouble taking it all in. I think it's overwhelming.
Awesome, man. Well, it's going to be interesting here. We're just under 5 minutes. Let me check. Let's see, anything pending? Nothing pending. It's Jeff up right now with 1.72 Bitcoin now. But Chief, you'll remember better than anybody else that I think your countdown, it went down to, I don't know, minutes, seconds.
It was really weird because the guy who put in the last bid, he put it in really late, didn't he?
Yeah.
It was to the last second. And but then when he extended it by 15 minutes and a complete stranger came in, do you know what I mean? And it's quite bizarre that the new guy, Mike, then started bidding. But this is, I think, Viz can talk about this better than me. There's strategies in people bidding in auctions, and I haven't got a clue about this sort of thing. But honestly, Fractal, prepare for your heartbeat, mate. You need to take some. You need to smoke a big spliff or something, because it's very nervous. Put it that way.
Yeah, you never know what's going to happen at this point. And look, if I were bidding for this thing, I'd probably hide out until the very end and come in with the haymaker in a couple minutes. In the last couple of minutes, I did just bring in Vizique. I don't know if you're there, Vizique, and if you have an opinion on that.
Still here. Yeah. Always expect the haymaker bid at the end. What actually trips a few people up, and it's one of the things that, as we know, in the development of these auction platforms, has been quite an important detail, is the anti-sniping element. So the auction ends at 11 o'clock, blah, blah, blah. And so you'll get the guy come in at 10:59 and he'll slam his bid down and then basically says everybody else can go home. Whereas with these auctions is, oh yeah, you can slam that bid down as hard as you like, pal, but it's going to extend the clock. That gives buyers an opportunity to keep it going. Like in a real auction house, it is important. This thing about, well, I've got more money. I want it more than you. I'm going to spend more money. Those buyers need to have that opportunity. So the classic eBay, it ends at this time. And if you haven't got your bid in by then tough titties. It just doesn't work for me. Never has. And in the real world of art auctions, from the artist's perspective, what you really want is the man with the biggest wallet who's prepared to open it and pay. And extensions on auctions allow for that, which is brilliant. And so, yeah, these mechanics that have come over from Bitcoin Talk to allow this, to facilitate the continuation of an auction until the one that has the most money and wants it the most has got what they want, which is the winning bid. Perfect. This is how it should be. I'm really stoked, to be brutally honest. I could go on forever.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're here under 2 minutes. Look, I mean, if we dial down to 0, I think everybody's going to walk away happy, but sure would add some excitement if one of these other bidders steps back in.
Well, let's be honest. I mean, in anybody's country, language, $68,000. All right, for the sake of argument, $69,000 is life-changing money. It is an amount that will make a difference to anybody.
Without question.
And absolutely. And more importantly, and yeah, okay, it's not about the money, it's about sending a message. But more importantly, it's from an artist perspective. I've kind of been in this seat where, you know, people are paying for your work. It's really reinforcing, it's really heart lifting when you see that somebody else out there is prepared to pay serious dollar for your life's work, for what your heart's work. And I think that's an important detail.
Yeah, there's so many people, so many new artists who had never been seen the light of day in the traditional art scene, because you've got to know the people to get, you know, to get a piece sold.
Yeah.
So many new artists are being recognized or seen and earning something. Shit, we're into the last, how many seconds?
21 seconds.
21 seconds, nothing pending.
This is where
20 seconds to comply. Well,
nail biting moments here.
It is. Is it? I think Jeff.
Looks like it's
going to be the man.
It's Jeff.
Well,
Jeff.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Wow. Amazing.
Bitcoin, Jeff.
Well done, Jeff.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Jeff.
To Fractal Encrypt, and congratulations to Jeff on managing to secure an outstanding and historical piece. And congratulations again to Chris and Arian for putting together an exemplary auction. Well done, guys. Everybody deserves a clap. Well done.
Well done. Well done.
Yes, thank you. Seriously, thank you.
Congrats, Fractal. Well deserved.
Thank you, too.
All right, gentlemen. Well, I'm going to let you go unless you have any final words, and we're going to bring in some of these other guys to talk about what they have going on in the Bitcoin art world.
Absolutely. Let's bring them on.
All right, Fractal, you especially. I think you deserve a stiff drink and
yeah, I gotta look around here
tonight.
What's next, Fractal? What's the plan now? Now that you, well, apart from having a large drink and taking a few days off, what's the plan for next steps, man?
You don't let me rest, huh, buddy? Gee, you ready to put me back to work? All right. Let's see. No, I think there's a lot of work still to do on this current project. You know, like it started at one place and I would say July 2019. We're about 20 months in. It's kind of evolving, just like the Bitcoin software. So, you know what's next? I really want to make like a fully functional GUI plugin for Bitcoin Core that we could, you know, both use in a computer interface for everything from a block explorer to constructing your transactions to an actual art piece that you can then project on and, you know, display live node data and, you know, make it something interesting for everybody. You know, like a company could just like display this in their, you know, room or whatever through projection. So I think it's a neat teaching tool.
On that note, I'm going to actually interrupt you very quickly to remind everybody, if they haven't seen it, to check out your tweet where you'd put your Fractal Encrypt clock behind Michael Saylor in place of his shit. And I have to say, it looked a lot better than the bloody shit.
Well, thank you. I was surprised how much at home it looked there. So you never know. You know, we can meme things into reality. We'll see. Bitcoin surprises you.
It certainly does. Never a dull day in crypto, my friend. Never a dull day.
I just noticed in the chat that we actually have what looks like the auction winner in the chat, Jeff B. I have that right.
Wow.
Oh, nice. My chat is down. But
Well, I'll give him a congratulations for you.
Oh, Jeff, well done, mate.
Well done, Jeff.
please,
Extremely
yeah,
good.
man. Much love, Jeff. Thank you. Congrats.
Yeah, well fought battle and victory. I hopefully we'll get some cool pics of when you've installed it. And by the way, good luck with that because it's a monster. I hope you've got somewhere really cool to put it front and center in your living room. And please send us pics when you've done it.
I think everybody's going to want to see that.
I want to see that.
I've got to ask.
Jeff Bezos. Now that would be interesting.
Never know.
Yeah, man.
Right. I'm going to love you and leave you for a little while. If you're still here when I get back, I'm going to go and have some Thai food because I'm ravenous. But I'd just like to say big, huge thanks and to Chris and Arian for putting it together.
Absolutely.
Just wow. Fractal Encrypt. Well done, dude. And everybody else, keep the faith. Bye.
Much love to Vizique. Appreciate it. Make sure you get that.
Thanks so much, Viz. We'll talk to you soon.
So there, Viz. Jeez. Fractal.
Woo!
Can you hear me?
I can. I'm muting. So get people too crazy.
Hey, you said you're gonna do a plug-in.
Yeah, I want to have the actual map is made to be a plug-in to Core. So yeah, that would be the end game here. It just attaches onto Core. You're running Core on your computer. You have this as a plug-in to Core that just acts as a GUI. So that's now your block explorer and your, the way that you write and look up transactions.
So you saying this thing would move mechanically, or is it a digital plugin?
I'm just not thinking in physical mechanics yet. I'm thinking like light projection and things like that. But honestly, I'm not even talking about a physical sculpture here. I'm talking about an actual software product. I'm saying not even a product, like a free open source thing that people can just plug into Core and use. I'm not even talking about art here. I want to make this a real thing.
Beautiful. So open source. Open source, you've got my heart. But you're honestly but it's a visual. You're thinking of a visual representation of this, but open source and it turning over in whatever real time as a plugin.
Well, yeah, because in essence, if live node data were actually visible to you the way it is to me, and if I can make that visible to other people, I think it's going to translate in a way that should be pretty amazing. Because the whole node has relational points depending on what block height you're at and what block time. So it will track that like a real calendar. So I have trouble explaining this to people, so we'll see. I actually had some people to reach out to me on Twitter already about setting up a GitHub space, so I think we'll see this come alive soon.
Oh, I'd love to see that.
You've given us something to look forward to. All right, gentlemen. Well, congrats again, Fractal Encrypt. Chief Monkey, thanks for joining us and giving the inside perspective. I'm going to let you guys go. We're going to bring in, let's see here. Let me see if I can find the controls. Tommy, are you there?
Yeah, what's up, man?
What's up, Tommy? For everybody who's listening, this is Tommy. He is the creative director and fantastic Bitcoin artist himself, creative director at Bitcoin Magazine. How you doing, man?
Dude, super excited. This is crazy. I'm really excited for Fractal Encrypt, man. He deserves all this. Congrats, Jeff. You just got yourself a piece of Bitcoin history right there, right at a time where we're making Bitcoin history on a daily basis. And Fractal Encrypt, man, I remember when he first came out with this piece, and this is obviously the fourth iteration of the cypherpunk chronographer, or whatever he called it back then. It's been a mesmerizing piece to dive into. And if you haven't read the article that he published on the homepage. It's about a 15-minute and full of everything you need to know about this piece. And I know you plugged it earlier. I mean, this thing is, I think Vizique said it's a seminal piece, and I couldn't agree more. That's a great way to describe it when it comes to Bitcoin art. So congrats all around, and thanks Scarcity for making this stuff happen. It's incredible.
Hey man, we're just honored to be a part of this. It's a special moment for Bitcoin art, special moment for Jeff and Fractal and Crypt, and we're just grateful to be along for the ride. So while we got you, Tommy, you've got some exciting things going on at Bitcoin Magazine. Can you talk about maybe what you have planned for the event this year?
Yeah, definitely. I assume everyone already knows this. I hope you already know, but if you don't, Bitcoin 2021, the conference, is coming to Miami. We're no longer doing it in Los Angeles. We're bringing it to Miami, and I'm most excited about the art gallery of Bitcoin 2021. There's going to be a lot of crazy stuff. The best speakers. I mean, it's going to be an insane conference, but the art gallery is going to be probably the biggest art gallery in the history of Bitcoin and Bitcoin conferences. And Fractal and Crypt's going to be there. He said I'm able to, I guess, sneak leak this. He's going to have kind of like an installation-y thing. You know, if you go to the bottom of the article, you can see an image of what this thing looks like when it's all projected over and animated, basically. And we're going to make sure he's got a, experiential, installation to show off this the full node sculpture in its full glory. So that's going to be part of the Bitcoin Art Gallery at the conference.
Yeah, man, really looking forward to that. For anyone who hasn't checked it out, I think you have, tell us what the URL is where people can find specifically the art gallery you have planned for the event.
Yeah, so the conference is at b.tc/conference. So BTC/conference. And then /art gallery. And but if you go to b.tc/conference, art gallery is one of the top things on the menu there. It's going to be I can't leak what the venue is going to be for the conference yet, but let's just say it's going to be it's not just going to be a big Bitcoin art gallery. It's going to be a big art gallery, period. So really excited for that. Go check that out. The lineup's already crazy as far as the art gallery goes, but we're looking to add more artists. So just stay tuned to that, and make sure you get your tickets sooner than later, because if you don't have your ticket by now, the price just went up today. So price is going up to get that ticket. We are at a limited capacity due to COVID and all that, but we're working with the mayor and stuff. It's going to be an in-person, many thousand people event, and it's going to be insane. So that's b.tc/conference.
That's awesome, man. I think we're all itching to get back to a Bitcoin conference. So this feels like it'll be a seminal one for the community. Really looking forward to it.
Hell yeah, man. And Scarcity, you guys are gonna have a part in it as well. I don't know if you want to tease that.
Hey man, we want to be a part of this in any way possible. So yeah, we'll have to work out the details, but yeah, man, if we can auction off some artwork at the event, we're 100% down.
Damn straight. Yeah, really excited for that. Yeah, well, thanks for having me, and congrats to Fractal and Crypt. He deserves every sat. And Jeff, you made a great investment here. Congrats all around.
Awesome, Tommy. Appreciate you joining. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, later.
I'm going to bring next our man, Dim Zayan. Did I pronounce Dim? Are you there?
I am.
Am I pronouncing your last name right? Correct me.
Say it again.
Maybe, how about you say it, and then I'll just learn it.
Dim Zayan.
Zayan. Okay.
Yeah. It always sounds different with the French accent, but everything's acceptable.
Yeah, I'd probably it'd sound worse if I tried to impersonate the French accent. So I'm just going to stick with the good old American accent.
Yeah, man, and call me Dim. That's fine.
Okay, Dim. Well, for those who don't know, Dim is the author of Bulltardia, the fantastic comic story about Bitcoin. How are you doing today, Dim?
I'm great. Thanks for having me. And congratulations to Jeff and, of course, to Fractal. It's very well deserved, this piece. I regret I won't be able to see it with my own eyes because there is so much to dive into looking at the pictures and the video. I really want to get into the article on Bitcoin Magazine because I already listened to the interview on 21ism. But now I want to really dive into this and see really what he has to say about the process. As an artist, I think the process is as valuable as the end piece. So I'm very curious about that.
Yeah, for sure. We had the pleasure of sitting down with him yesterday at the auction launch, and he took us through the article, talked us through it. For anyone who's interested in the audio format of the article, you can check it out on our YouTube channel. But otherwise, check out the Bitcoin Magazine article. And also, I don't think I mentioned, you got to check out the 21ism interview and audio as well as text form. Plenty of good content that he put out leading up to this. And yeah, man, he's given you a glimpse into the mastermind, and it's just it's amazing work that he's put together, and it's such a great story of hearing how we came to this point and creating this piece.
Absolutely, and not only that, I mean, that's the piece, but also the fact that you, Chris, and now I didn't know that Chief Monkey was partly responsible for making it a Lightning Network auction. But what is it? Is it your 5th auction?
This is our 3rd auction, actually.
3rd auction. Wow, man. I mean, this is history we are going through, because there is all that thing happening with the NFTs and Ethereum, but I've always been, looking away from it because being a maxi, it's really hard and an artist at the same time. It's really hard to see that so much has been happening on Ethereum and not that much using Bitcoin. So thanks for making this happen. I'm looking forward more of those endeavors going into the future.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's been so much creative talent in the Bitcoin space for so long, and artists like you and many others have been able to do really well for yourselves, and just creating great work and finding the people who are willing to find it. But it's hard for artists who are first coming up and they don't have an audience. They don't have people they can market their work to, right off the bat. So hopefully we can create a platform where, not just the well-known artists in the Bitcoin community can sell their work, but anyone who's super talented in the Bitcoin art space, they have a platform they can go to. And if they just want to focus on the art, we give them that option, right?
And you know what, Chris? One thing that is very interesting about art and Bitcoin is that the mind of the Bitcoiner is very close to the mind of the collector, in the sense that in both cases, you have to like diving into rabbit holes. And on that matter, I think there's a lot of correlation between the two. So the audience it's almost like it's a given, to have art and Bitcoin come together.
Yeah, it really is special. I mean, there's so much to it, and me just thinking about it over, the past few months, my view on it has changed so much. But I mean, part of me is like, okay, Bitcoin's a revolution. All of the artwork being created today by Bitcoin artists, authentic Bitcoin artists, it's going to be super valuable. But it actually goes so much deeper than that. Like the art is actually what tells a lot of the Bitcoin story. And you know this better than anyone with what you've put together with Bulltardia. But it educates people and it captures people's attention who maybe otherwise wouldn't be drawn into the space.
Yeah, and I mean, to the point of what Fractal was saying in his interview on 21ism, he said something that I completely relate to, is that it's all about the story. You are, as an artist, the most important is to have something to say. And at the moment you start having something to say, regardless of the medium, you could make, you could be a shoemaker, you would be an artist if you know that you have something to say. And the fact that we are so passionate about Bitcoin makes that as a community, we have so much to talk about. And that's why, you know, there is this influx of creativity in the Bitcoin space. And I think we are on the forefront, even creatively speaking, as Bitcoiners. If you look at the current art scene, for a while, especially just even before COVID, there was something a bit of a dying scene, you know, where there was a need for renewal. There was a need for fresh breath of air. And I think the fact that we have this entire new ecosystem, not only but Bitcoin, but because of the fact there is such a revolution with the finance and the sovereign individual, it creates a spark of creativity everywhere. So I'm really looking forward to more artists creating pieces that are very unique.
Yeah, 100%. Well said. I mean, this is, you know, it's a revolution in all respects. Everybody thinks about it as a financial revolution, maybe a technology revolution, but it's a cultural revolution just as much as anything else. And, you know, everybody has their journey and it slightly differs, but for most people who really get into it, it gets to a point where it's all you can think about and you have to contribute. You have to contribute to the space. Otherwise, you just don't feel like you're fulfilling your purpose. And it's a beautiful thing when that happens to the creatives and you guys go on to create amazing art.
You know, I really think that at the moment you are passionate about something, that you have something to say, and that you're going to spend the time to learn your craft and say it right, regardless of what you do, you are an artist. You are an artist because you want to create something unique, you want to express it, and you want to do it in your own way. So we are all artists. We are all Satoshi, and we are all artists. Isn't that great?
That's great. That's a beautiful thing. Well said. Well, yeah. Dim, before I let you go, how about you tell us what you're working on these days?
Oh, I'm working on many things, but the two main things I'm working on is, of course, Bulgaria, which I'm really trying to wrap up this season because it's already we're going on the 9th episode that is coming this month, and so it's been quite a journey, and I need to stop it because I have a lot of things to do, and there is also that treasure hunt. I don't know if you're aware, but Bulgaria has a treasure hunt of 10 million Satoshi, and people have been very eager to find that treasure. And since I give hints on a monthly basis, everybody wants the season to end. And of course, you know, I need to end this season because I'm working on other projects. And one of them is actually a collective project. It's a performance art that is being prepared right now, and it involves 160 Bitcoiners from the space. You got plebs, but you got also OGs. I'm very, very excited about this. It's really a celebration to the space. And all I can say right now is that it's a video performance art, and it involves a celebration of our origins as Bitcoiners.
Well, you got me excited, man. I can't wait to see that.
Me too. I'm very excited. I can't wait to see the final product.
All right. Yeah, we got MicroChad in the comments saying it's fire. So
yeah,
for you.
MTCBTC MicroChad is actually working on this with me, so he knows a lot about it.
Okay, awesome. Well, Dim, do you have anything else to say before we let you go?
No, that's it. Thanks for having me, man.
All right. Thanks for joining. We'll talk to you soon.
Cheers.
Cheers. I'm going to bring, I think Vizique has some final words to say. Let me see if I can find the controls. Vizique, are you there? Vizique, if you can hear me, I can't hear you. So if you're there, you are muted, it sounds like. All right. We'll see if Vizique joins us. If not, I do have one thing I want to preview for everybody. Oh, Vizique's having mic issues, so we'll have to skip out on that. Anyone else who's listening in the room, go ahead and let me know if you have anything else to say. But otherwise, what I'm going to do is I'm going to preview our next option. Oh, looks like MicroChad has something to say. Let's get him back in. MicroChad, you there?
Yeah, just wanted to say thanks. I was muted earlier, I think. Congrats, Fractal, and congrats, Jeff. And thanks to everyone in the chat room as well. It was cool hanging out with you all. Follow most, if not all of you. This is awesome that we can connect like this and enjoy these occasions. What an emphatic win for Jeff. And I'm so pleased for Fractal that he smashed the previous record. I thought he was going to do it. I predicted he was going to do it when I interviewed him, and I said as much. But this is a brilliant price, and you must be pleased as punch. And I guess it'll take him a while for it to sink in properly. But long may your journey continue, mate. I wish you, I wish him all the best, and I wish you the best of luck with the platform as well, Chris.
Thank you so much, MicroChad. Really appreciate that, man. And before I let you, do you have anything extra special going on at 21ism that you want to talk about?
Worth mentioning, definitely. Some of the guys from 21ism are hanging out in the chat room as well. I'm a relatively new addition to the team, but this month we mine a block on the 5th of each month. We started on November the 5th. So there's a little bit of Guy Fawkes in our blood, I think. We featured different categories. So we've got 7 categories. Fractal Encrypt featured in the design category this month. We also had DJ Jay Skrilla, who had an album dropping recently, Sound Money album.
Yep.
He's a big fan of Fractal's work as well. We had our own artist, Mr. Crown, in the art section, Evan Kaludis in code, BTC Street Art and Meme, Nut Svanholm, who had this piece on the cover of Independence Reimagined, his second book. So, this is obviously a notable piece for that reason as well. We had BT Sessions in the video stream. We've had some awesome guests in the past. These have been, carefully curated by the team. And we've got what's looking to be a bumper lineup for next month as well. So head over to 21ism.com, sign up for our mailing list, follow us on Twitter. We've got a Telegram group as well. If you want to suggest ideas for people that we should feature, we'd love to hear them. So bring the fire, and we'll do our best to bring the focus to the talent that there is in this space, and hopefully grow it to a point where it's beyond our control and completely unstoppable.
Love to hear that. And absolutely, you got to check out 21ism if you haven't already. These guys are putting out amazing work. Just going to this website and scrolling through an article is an absolute joy. I mean, I've never seen anything like design-wise that really comes close to it. And the memes and, oh man, the Beastie Boys video that you guys put out, that's still in my head. Always.
We've got such a good team, man. Self-Banked is a creative, autodidact, multifaceted genius in his own right. We've got Mr. Crown, who's a great artist. He's featured this month, but he handles all the back end. We've got Hodler Than Thou, who is a multi-award-winning music maker, and he cuts original music for the work that we're putting out there as well. RDBTC, he's been featured. He's collaborated with some of the meme stuff as well. Rebel Money Art. It's an absolutely awesome team. So yeah, we're lucky that we've got some great thinkers. I don't know how I managed to blag my way in, but I'm hanging on by my coattails.
You've got quite the motley crew of Bitcoin creatives over there, and you package it together so nicely. Love to see it, man.
Cool. Thanks, man.
All right, MicroChad, thanks for joining us, man. We'll talk to you soon.
My pleasure.
All right, take care. All right, so to wrap this off, I do want to preview what we have lined up next for auction at Scarce City. It's a very special piece by the well-known Brecky, and he's got his Genesis block, which, I mean, look, I still haven't seen the details on this, so I can't speak to it, but just looking at this and knowing Brecky, like, he's going to bring the fire. So we've got this planned within the next, I don't want to put a hard date on it, but within the next few weeks, I'll keep it loose. And yeah, this is going to be an extra special one. A couple things to note here. He does have, that is a physical Bitcoin in the Guy Fawkes left eye there. I'm not sure what physical Bitcoin that is, but I'm sure it's something special. And he's also got the open dime there on the stone next to the block. And I don't believe it's loaded, but he'll fill us in on those details in due time. Anyway, it's something to get excited for. Brecky's going to make it special. So we're going to keep bringing the auctions to you here at Scarce City. Beyond Brecky's sale, we've got quite a few really, really special works up for auction. So stay tuned. If you're not following us on Twitter already, you got to follow us. The handle is @scarce.dot city. If you know whoever's got that scarce period city, tell them to please cancel their account so we can take it over. We'll get it eventually, I'm sure. And if you're not on our mailing list, go to scarce.city and sign up for a mailing list. Just go to the very bottom there, throw in your email address, and we'll keep you up to date on all of the action. All right, I'm going to leave it off here. Congratulations again to Fractal and Crypt. Congratulations to Jeff for taking this beautiful piece home. And thank you so much for all the guests who have joined us on this live stream. This has been a lot of fun. All right, we hope to do this again soon. Talk to you then. Later.